and it's been a great journey. We had over 50 mentors across our regional hubs supporting our startups to actually grow their businesses, and then they also make sure that these businesses are sustained through relationship building and other opportunities that they've shared with these startups. And today we are very happy and glad to launch this network. This network has actually been very supportive to Ghana Tech Lab and all the partner hubs that we've been working with. And we want to officially build a stronger relationship like we see here, and then also have events and other opportunities for these mentors that have joined us and are ready to support our team. So today, I am happy to welcome all of you our mentorship launch. And then we say that through our panel discussions and other interactions here, you are going to understand what network seems or is all about. And then we are also going to understand what are some of the benefits that our startups are going to get from this network that is going to be launched. The startups all over coming to our programs and out of our programs have also seen this as a great opportunity. And so we are very happy to launch this network. And we know that as time goes on, we are going to get a lot of you on board as mentors for these startups that we are supporting and then helping to build their businesses. So on behalf of Ghana Tech Lab, I say that you are welcome once again to the mentorship launch. And it's going to be a very insightful one. We are going to take a lot of cues from what our panelists are going to say. And at the end of it, I am sure most of you will visit our website and join our network. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Simpson. Beautifully dressed in her pink attire. Now, I'm sure most of us are wondering what led to the launch of this network. To assist me delve into some issues relating or surrounding the problems around mentorship and the solution that has been presented to us today, I have some distinguished panelists with me. Three people with me today. Two gentlemen and then one lady. I don't know. The first gentleman I have here with me is Mr. Norbert Jionu. Norbert has been working with startups for about 2 to 3 years now. He understands the challenges that startups go through. He understands the solutions that can help startups to acquire the necessary support that they need within our ecosystem. I also have here with me Pamela Abe. Pamela also works in the industry. She supports startups to acquire the support they need, all towards investor readiness. And then finally, I have with me Kwabna Owusu, Mr. Kwabna Owusu. Kwabna is an ecosystem lead here in Ghana Tech Lab and also has worked extensively with startups within and outside of the country to work on their businesses as well. Welcome again, gentlemen and lady. Okay. Okay. Before we, again, like I said, before we go into the agenda for the day, which is launching of the website, we're going to delve into some important issues. Now, if you are joining us online from our socials, from Zoom, please do well to introduce yourselves. Just mention your name, where you're joining us from. And of course, if you have a startup, do introduce your startup as well. Let's take the opportunity to also network online, get to know one another, and join the conversations as well. Please do well to put in your comments and questions in the chat box on our socials and also on the Zoom network as well. Okay, gentlemen and lady, before we delve in, we can quickly do a quick introduction. So tell us about yourself, your name, your experience in the space, what led to you joining this panel today, and just share some experiences with us around startups mentorship.
All right. Hello. Thank you, Doreen. So my name is Norbert. I work with the base team here at Ghana Tech Lab, and I work with startups across the country, providing them with the business and technical support to help them scale their venture. Aside my normal work schedule, I work with a group of people that are working to build a startup community here in Accra, to build our community where people can network with one another and grow their ventures. Um, what inspired me to be part of this conversation? I mean, growing up within the space, I wasn't really lucky enough to get a mentor myself. So most of the things were self-taught, and I had to do so much learning, which was quite unfortunate. So I mean, I had to struggle, and I wished growing up I would have had the opportunity to meet a mentor that would provide me with the the support needed. I mean, in terms of advice, coaching, direction to help me build whatever I want to build. I mean, I could attribute certain failures to me not getting a mentor to provide that expert guidance that I wish I had. And I believe that there are so many people out there who were like me some few years back, and it will be unfortunate for me to see them go through that. That's why I'm part of this conversation to see how best we can inspire people and help them build whatever they want to build.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Pamela Abe, and I'm with Little Humans, Big Minds, a child care consulting and training hub. Okay, I'm part of this session because I see myself to be a personal branding enthusiast, and I mean, being coming into contact with startups like this, like Norbert said. I mean, if you are starting up a business, you need some mentors or you need some help one or two ways. So being part of this section, I'm hopeful that whatever experience I have, I'll be able to share it with any startup I come into contact with. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Kwabena Owusu. I'm the ecosystem lead for Ghana Tech Lab. In terms of experience, it's been a lot within the space. More than 10 years engaging individuals and startups within the context of mentorship and coaching. Um, I'm part of this initiative with a bit of a background where, as an ecosystem, we we went around the country to assess the state of every ecosystem in the country to understand what is happening, where the gaps are, what the challenges are, and what can be done to help bridge those gaps. So many initiatives came by, one being startup bar. So after the needs assessment, we did understand that a lot of startups are having challenges to find business developers to assist them in scaling their businesses. We also got to know that mentors was hard to find, looking and also understanding the geographical location of certain businesses or startups. So how then do we create an enabling environment where they're able to connect the dots and make that impact? So against this background, the Ghana Mentorship Network came to play, Startup Bars came to play, and a few other initiatives came to play. So I'm here as part of the team, uh, working around this to make it happen.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks a lot for that quick introduction. So we're just going to delve straight into the conversations for today. I'm going to start off with you, Norbert. I know that you have been in the space for some time working with startups, both idea stage, early growth stage, and you know the experiences. Can you please describe to me what your perspective of Ghanaian startup ecosystem is like? Just a brief description of that.
All right. So the Ghanaian startup ecosystem, I would say, is still a growing one. Yeah. So the Ghanaian startup ecosystem is still a growing one. And it's part of one of the most vibrant ecosystems across Africa. We could boast of certain startups that have been able to raise or that have been able to put the ecosystem on a map. So talking of M Pharma, Kudigo and the likes, putting the ecosystem on the map. I mean, they started way back. These are the guys that started way back. And I mean, look, considering the effort and the ecosystem that have been developed for them, even though they didn't have so much opportunities that we are currently exposed to now. Um, we are still getting there, and I mean, we are also lucky to have new opportunities, new local and international initiatives, and foreign organization. I mean, betting on some of the startups that we have here in Ghana. So the ecosystem still has so much potential to grow. And I believe that in the context of our conversation, I think one of the key drivers for an ecosystem to thrive, if you look at the likes of Silicon Valley and the rest, the reason why these ecosystems are more developed compared to the others is because of the fact that they had access to the network of people that gave them advice, that held their hands, and I mean, give them that momentum and expert advice to help them scale. So, I mean, we are in a growing ecosystem, and we believe that for us to make it work, um, we still need to, I mean, provide coaching and all those things to make it more conducive for startups to grow. Thank you.
I mean, no, but that's exciting and very insightful to hear. I'm getting to hear about a lot of the startups that we have within our network or ecosystem. Now, I'm moving on to Kwabna. Kwabna, you mentioned you've been in the system for about more than 10 years now. Do you think, I mean, picking up on the conversation that Nobel just started with, he mentioned some few startups, but do you think there are enough innovative solutions in our part of the world?
First off, yes, there are, and also even within the space of locality or communities or regions, majority of the businesses or startups we used to hear were more in Accra or Kumasi, and a handful in Takrady. Now, there are interesting businesses and within the country, let's say in Wa, Bolga, and all that. Now, the ecosystem that we live in is more developed, though it's still green for more opportunities and for more infrastructural support to scale. But within the context of what we are discussing, I see improvement. I see more chances. But the sad part is there's a lot more replication of innovation happening, where also there's a challenge of team, a strong team to build the idea or the product to scale. Whereas there's also the mindset of how then do I get access to funds? So if I'm in the north, I need to come down to Accra. But through our ecosystem map, we even get to realize that there are individuals within these localities that have the means to support the businesses. So one of the initiatives that we at Ghana Tech Lab is creating is called the Local Investor Network, where we create this pool of investors to support them at their local level, while also promoting entrepreneurship within that space in view to build that drive for them to scale at their respective communities. So within the context of engagement, yes, the system is growing, but we just lack a few infrastructure.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, this is a very insightful conversation. Let me come to you, Pamela. I know you also work with startups within your agency. Can you tell us why you think mentorship is relevant for the success of businesses? Do you think it's important, and why do you think it's so?
All right, thank you. I think mentorship is important in building successful businesses because everybody needs somebody. And you may have an idea, but you may not know how to execute it, or you may know how to execute it, but how well are you able to execute it? So that's where a mentor comes in. Someone who comes to who pushes you on, who like a third eye, who sees what you are not seeing or can't see. And yes, so with a third eye in your business, I mean, there's progress. Yeah, there's progress.
There's so much progress in your business, like Pamela said. If you are just joining us, this is the the launch of the Ghana Mentorship Network, brought to you by Ghana Tech Lab with the support of our partners, Mastercard Foundation, Ministry of Communication, and of course the World Bank. Now, no, but this question especially, I would like to ask you because you work with more early stage startups through your incubation programs. Do you think that as an early stage, I mean, for the startups that are more advanced, they have been in the system for some time, networked with the big players, they know who to go to. But for early stage startups now coming up, do you think that getting access to these mentors or these kind of supports is very easy?
Thank you, Doreen, for the question. I think it's a two-way question. It's easy and it's tough, depending on sometimes where you are located. I mean, location also matters because it might be easy for you to have access to a mentor in Accra than in Kumasi or maybe in Tamale or in Dambai. You getting it? Because you wouldn't have enough people with domain expertise as you would compare people living within Accra. So it will be difficult for you to have access to some of them. But for me, I think if you're an early stage entrepreneur or you are with an early stage startup, everything boils down to you, the individual or the startup. If you want a mentor, you get a mentor. Um, because for me, growing like I decided to invest in myself and to invest in what I do. So no matter how much it was going to cost me to have access to the people that I need to get it done, I end up doing it. So if you want a mentor or if you want Pamela, if you're in Dubai and you want if you really want to build a business and you want Pamela to provide that expert mentorship support and guidance of that third eye into your business or even your career, okay, you need to chase those people. And you are lucky enough, there are platforms that you can easily find these people and I mean have access to them, like LinkedIn. Okay. Maybe if there's an event in Accra, invest in yourself, or even an event within your locality. Invest in yourself, go to these places, attend this event, and talk to people. I mean, the way you present yourself even counts for someone to because if I'm investing into you, yesterday I told someone that the fact that you are texting me at 10 p.m. to ask me certain question about your business means that I'm sacrificing my sleep on your behalf. So you should make this count so that next time if someone calls me at 10, I'll be able to make that sacrifice. So I mean, it's sometimes difficult, like I say, having access to mentors depending on wherever you find yourself. But if you put your mind to it, you'll get it. And that's why I'm happy that we have the national mentorship networks, which makes it more decentralized for young people to have access to any mentor anywhere, anytime. So I think this is a great initiative, and it's going to break that barrier between geographical access to skilled or expert talent across the country.
Sure. No, but let me quickly follow up on you made some exciting points there
Sure.
about going on to LinkedIn, attending events, etc.
Yeah.
Now we're living in an era where people are so much focused on getting mentors
Yeah.
that they don't even focus on the kind of mentors that they are getting and their relevance to their businesses.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is important for startups to look at in choosing a mentor to mentor their startups?
Yeah. So if you are looking for a mentor, I mean, you need to look for someone that understands what you are doing. Okay. And sometimes it takes time for you to I can't meet Kwabna today and want Kwabna to be my mentor. I mean, I have to build a relationship with Kwabna, understand what Kwabna does, to see to see his reputation. You don't just pick anyone just because you think the person is influential, so you want to align yourself with that person. Okay. Do a little digging about the person. Is this someone that you think can provide that opportunity for it to leapfrog you into the next future? Okay. So you need to understand the person. You need to know the person. And it doesn't come over a coffee meetup. It happens. Yeah. It happens over time. Okay. So yeah. So the most important thing is if you want to choose a mentor, you need to know who to choose. You need to identify who to choose. Um and at least that person might should have enough domain expertise that person should have enough experience that you can say, okay, I can trust this person to provide technical expert support. Because if I'm meeting with someone who doesn't have that experience and is going to use me as an experiment to provide a solution to me, it wouldn't be that effective. So, I mean, let's look for people that have the experience and domain expertise that we're looking for.
Absolutely. So I picked 2 points from here. There's experience and there's expertise. Pamela, do you have anything more to add? What will that have to do with
Um, First off, people do confuse who a coach is and who a mentor is. So if you're able to differentiate the two, it also affects the relation you have with the individual. Therefore, you also uh, break that barrier of familiarity and the entitlement that comes with it. Within the context of, so one may ask, then who is a mentor? As Norbert said, someone who is going to share his knowledge, his expertise, his skills to help you grow and develop or scale as an individual or as a business. Whereas a coach is an individual who's going to be with you to guide you, define your goals, work with you to achieve those set goals. So that becomes a coach. So if you're able to differentiate the two, it helps you know what to do. And that's rightly said by Norbert. Identifying a mentor is different from working with a mentor. So if you're able to know that I want to work with Mr. A, and mentors come in different forms and shapes. It can be through books, it can be through audio, it can be through video, it can be through certain case studies, or it can be through life experiences of the individual that you map out to be as is being communicated. You get to know I want to become this. Therefore, I look up to those within that space and I map out what they did to achieve it. You will not get a mentor 24/7 as against getting a coach 24/7. So if you're able to know these differences, it helps you to know and also gives you that drive to define, even pitching your idea to whoever it is, to either recommend or act as a mentor to you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Kwabna, for that insight as well. Again, if you are joining us online, do well to put in your comments within in the chat box from our socials and also through the Zoom link or the Zoom call as well. Now, Pamela, I'm going to come straight quickly to you. You work with startups within from your agency. Can you let us know what you think the cost of mentorship is? I mean, it's a platform they're going to launch for startups to access these mentors. So what do you think is the cost of mentorship within the Ghanaian ecosystem? Yeah, so various forms of cost will be financial, it will be their time, etc. So what do you think the cost of mentorship within Ghana is?
So to buttress what Kwabena shared, you should, so I mean, putting Norbert's and then Kwabena's together, knowing the mentor's experience and expertise, knowing whether you are going in for a coach or a mentor. Is the first thing that you should know. And then based on that, do you have the time? And even though you need the help of a mentor, do you have the time to be with the mentor? Does the mentor has time to be with you? Um, are you a people person? How are you working on yourself? How are you branding yourself? Because you may need a mentor, but then if you are not ready within, you may not be able to vibe with that mentor. Okay, so I think it's part of it. I don't know.
Absolutely. These are things that people really need to look at. You are bringing in the perspective of the analysis. I think Pamela has something more to add to the cost of mentorship.
So basically, it's about value that you're bringing to the table, and then also if if you're not able to position yourself well, you're not able to get the right mentors to engage with. Therefore, it's between exchange of time because you can't pay a mentor if it's a charge you based on experience. You can only do more of appreciation to show your sense of urgency of engagement with the individual. and also go according to the works that he or she has directed or guided you to do. So in terms of costing, we can't quantify amount. If you quantify amount, it becomes consultancy. And become consultancy, that is why there's a challenge for that startup to even pay for that fee to come for that engagement. And that also even affects their thought process in scaling up. So in this context of cost here can only be centered around time and availability, both the mentor and the entity. So if you're able to define how and where and which medium to meet, and let's say Mr. A books accept to become a mentor to Mr. Y and says, let's meet at 5 p.m., not 5:30. And you show up at 5:30, you've disrespected the mentor. So a continuous engagement or in media, there's a retention. It's been broken. So that is why you see, oh, I'll get back to you. You hear from me. It means that he's withdrawing from you because you are not putting in the effort to gain what you are looking for. So there's a saying that you need to pay a price in order to obtain the prize. Therefore, what do you bring to the table for the other person to create? So value becomes an issue here.
So this is very important insight you are raising because one thing I know for sure is that startups just go online. They are looking for these mentors, but are they actually, assessing to make sure that whoever they're waiting for has the time? How are they putting in, into the whole relationship? So for example, he has something
In addition to that, most startups are interested. So when you go for events, summits, conferences, startup engagement or what, when they mention a profile of an individual, when everything is done, they rush to the person. Oh, I want you to mentor me. Then you pick a call card. The call card is an introduction to it. So in that instance, you are interested, but you're not willing. You get what I'm saying? So you see someone has a whole lot of call cards of individuals who you go to become his mentor. And you say that call me or text me and you call me and you text. There's certain etiquette that comes with it. So when you break those principles and barriers, you lose the opportunity. So you need to be willing to work towards it. It's a process. It's relationship management. You don't just get up because you want to get into the person's space. The person also wants to know you. So it's not a one day mentorship start. It's a process that goes through it.
All right. So, like Pamela and Daniel said, mentorship is about the cost of mentorship is value, like Daniel said. Okay. And value is money. I getting it. So, if someone is investing his time into you, he's expecting that, like he's saying, your own time, you are incorporating what is providing to you, incorporating it into what you are doing, and he's seeing quantifiable output that, okay, I said do this. Has he yielded this result? Because that time that he's mentoring you, he could have used that same time to do something that could earn him hard cash. By spending that 30 minutes with you just because he wants you, that's an investment he's making into you. Okay, so another cost when it comes to mentorship is like Danny said, you can't quantify the money value on it directly, but indirectly to quantify the value, the cost involved in mentorship is when you invest in taking part of certain initiatives. Okay, in terms of acquisition, attending events is a cost because you are even going on buying data to go on your phone just to search for a mentor is a cost. Okay, and unfortunately, these costs are not so expensive. These are things that we can easily do, and these are investments that we make into ourselves. So, I mean, in terms of cost, it's acquisition and its value on the side of the mentor. Are you getting it? So, yeah. So, in terms of cost, these are my two takeaways.
sure. I mean, some exciting points coming here. Um, some exciting points have been raised by our panelists here. And for this topic especially, I think we'll need to find time and delve deeper into it, accessing mentors and what is required of startups. But I'm just going to quickly move on to the next point for discussion. Norbert began by mentioning some challenges that are within certain ecosystems in accessing mentors. Now, I want you to dwell a bit more on the challenges. It could be regional, or it could be national, or it could be within certain sectors. What do you think? Let me start with you, Norbert. What do you think are the challenges that are embedded within a Ghanaian startup mentorship ecosystem?
Yeah, thank you. Some people confuse mentorship with consultancy. You see, when a startup reaches out to you or as a mentor to mentor that person, okay, you are not consulting for the person, so you don't charge the person. The only maybe what the person can do in return is to show appreciation. Maybe oh, you've mentored me, take this, or we've come up with this product. Maybe have a free plan. You're on a free plan or something. Because it's assumed that as a mentor, you've had that it's a spare time that you are it's like your corporate social responsibility. Let me just put it that way. So you don't price that. So sometimes people see mentorship as a, a hard to get. That's when the cost element comes in. So they think, oh, getting a mentor would cost me. Okay. And also another issue has to do with, like I mentioned earlier, different ecosystems have their stages of growth. So what is in Dambai is not in Accra. So if you look at these two places, cost of acquisition of a mentor will be higher in Dambai than in Accra because they'll have to jump to Accra to come and acquire a mentor. Are you getting it? And that is expensive. So um, you have to look for that. That's one of the biggest gap. That's the geographical distribution of expertise. In some areas, you have more, and you realize that majority of the mentors are concentrated in Accra, unfortunately, and some outside Accra, like outside Ghana. Okay, so these are some of the few challenges, and I've had terrible experience. I know everyone here will share their experiences with mentoring people. You see, I've I I still mentor people because I think, oh, one day it's going to be worth it. But for how long will I be doing one day? It's going to be worth it. When you mentor someone, you because for me, I'm always open to mentor people. When they reach out to me, just do it. But when I'm mentoring you, I need your attitude to be right. You respect time, you respect deadlines. Because plenty of people are trying to assess you, but you have the opportunity to spend that time with the person. So you're expecting that people reciprocate it. And also, people don't respect boundaries because they feel they have access to you. They can just wake up and reach out to you anytime, which is very, very wrong. So some of the developer mentors I know, like because of that, they are skeptical about um, working with the upcoming talents because these guys don't respect boundaries. And people also have issues where maybe there are some few issues, then these guys go out to badmouth them. It happens. So it discourages people who maybe if I hear it, I'm like, well, then why should I waste it? You understand? So, and also people have mentored. Let me just say, people are a little bit ungrateful, especially entrepreneurs. So when you become successful, no one wants you to, in your press release, just say, oh, Daniel gave me this or Pamela gave me that, and because of that, the company is where it is. But some recognition at a point is very, very important so that people know that what they have invested in is worth it. And for me, if I'm mentoring you, I don't want anything. I just want you to be successful so that at least one day when we all sit somewhere, we can say, okay, we've provided support for people and they are scaling. So some of these things discourage people from dedicating their time and resources to supporting people. And these are some of the gaps. Okay. And people don't like to invest in acquisition. They feel, they're okay with what they have and they don't need anyone and they fail. That's why you see that people are able to they start things and they are not able to reach where they are because they are not speaking to the right people. Are you getting it? So yeah, so these are some of the few challenges and gaps that exist within our space of mentorship and coaching.
Sure, that's some deep thoughts there. But Pamela, I saw you nodding throughout. Do you have some experiences to share with us around the space as well?
All right. So there's trust issue. Okay, you build a vibe with a startup. I mean, you organize a meetup, whether virtually or physically, and then there's the vibe between you two. Now you lay down some tips that you expect the startup to follow, and then they decide to pick what suits them. Okay, but you know that if it's 10 tips, these 10 tips would help this startup. And based on, so example, you need some information from the startup to be able to meet the startup at the point of their need. But they just choose what they want to, the information they want to give you. And then it's sometimes it's they're like, I need to know these things about you. I know they are private, they are personal, but to help your business grow, I need to know this. Then I can go ahead and then advise you on so so and so. So sometimes there's breakage because they don't trust you, the mentor. So it's like, so if you don't trust me, then why do you come into my space to, So those are some of the challenges. And then the time, working with time, you give someone time. Let's have a chat 5 p.m., like a 1 hour chat. They come in late and then they expect you to extend the time. Okay. Another time too, you need to meet up physically. You reach the destination and they call that, they need some TNT or something. And then being a mentor, actually, yes, you may have to out of pocket, because you do not want that day to go waste. So you're like, okay, I'm sending you this mobile, still come around, I'm still here waiting for you. So sometimes these are some of the challenges that we face mentoring startups.
I mean, this is very interesting to hear. The mentors have to fund the startups to participate in the mentorship program. This is exciting. Wow. Kamna, let me come up quickly to you. Um, I mean, you have worked extensively within the space, over 10 years experience. Pamela is just mentioning about the fact that mentors have to even invest their money, begin investing their time, invest their money, into the whole process. What would you say it takes to sustain a mentorship network?
So, what will sustain a mentorship network? One is the objective of the network or the relationship you are building, to the crop of individuals or startups you are bringing together to achieve the set goal. Then also the the medium of engagement with the startup or the individual. Then also the tone of conversation or the tone of language used in communicating to the individual or to the team or startup. Then also doing more of having a reference point or a bounce back engagement from the from when you guys parted. So instances where you meet them at the point of need, you tell them what to do, you set back to get more like a feedback or a report to get to know this is the then, the now, and the after, just to see the progression. That also gives motivation to the mentor to be continuous in engagement with the people. But if there's engagement, but the sustaining the engagement from the other side, and most at times the startups or the individuals, because of their level or their entrepreneurial mindset, it's far from what they see it as, or just conversation. So complacency sets in, familiarity comes in. So picking in keywords or picking in from the directive from the mentor becomes as and when I want. That also affects the engagement. So if all these cracks are not being merged or bridged, you can't sustain a network. You can only have it as a tag or as a buzz engagement or movement, but not with relevant entities in there. Then also how then to sustain a network, the crop of mentors you recruit on the platform or to join the network must be assessed, one in terms of qualification or skill set and experience, to the availability of time to give back as Nobel said, more like a CSR. Then three, what's next for them? So some also do sign NDAs because of IP issues within our country or where we sit. Most startups have issues with IP, thinking if I share with him or her, because in quote he or she has the money, the person will scale or run with my idea. So that's also one of the things. So on the part of the mentees coming onto the network must also be oriented the purpose of the network and also the rules of engagement of the network and how to go about things so that it can have a synergy or more of a safe space for them to express themselves, to ask, and they'll be sorted out food. If not, it will be hanging, but in terms of substance, there's nothing there to show.
Sure, some exciting points there. And of course, I'm happy to also announce or mention that all of these conditions have been met by the Ghana Mentorship Network. We assess all of these things and ensure that everybody coming on board meets all these conditions, processes are followed, and everything is on track. All right. Again, if you are just joining us, this is the launch of the Ghana Mentorship Network, brought to you again by Ghana Tech Lab with the support of Ministry of Communications, Mastercard Foundation, and the World Bank. We're wrapping up on the conversation now, and I just want to quickly go around to our panelists to ask the big question for the day. I mean, this is a grand launch. It's a network of mentors across all regions in Ghana. And of course, it's exciting. The exciting part is that it's absolutely free. You get to access these services at no cost at all to these startups. I just quickly want to take your perspectives. How do you feel about the launch of this network?
Yeah, I think this is a great initiative, especially for people that were in my shoes when I was starting. They would have an opportunity to have access to mentors to provide them with that expect um, advice or third eye into their business wherever they are, anywhere. That's why we are built. The platform has been built to provide that decentralized engagement to for people to speak to experts that um, can provide that guidance to their startup. Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. I'm super pumped, and I know so many of my startups are really going to benefit most from this. And I encourage anyone out there. I'll encourage anyone who has that domain expertise and think at least they can dedicate some few hours or minutes of their time just to spend with people that are coming up to build startups, to spend time with them and provide that guidance to them. It would be really helpful if we all want to build a more comprehensive ecosystem, notwithstanding the challenges that are already exist. We just need to, I mean, come onto the platform, sign up, and go through all the required processes, and I mean, we'll get there. Thank you.
Okay, so I think this is a laudable idea. This is a fantastic innovation for startups. Yes, all that I would say is that startups should take this opportunity to sign up and then actively engage their mentors. Okay, all right, thank you.
For me, I'll say it's a happy day for me and also for my team to seeing this come to life in terms of us making it more public. So there's been a lot of background works where we've engaged with a lot of startups at our respective partner locations, where we have so at least our partner have at least between 4 and 8 startups that we engage with. So with our incubation, so there's a bracket or a component where there's mentorship. With our acceleration program, there's a component that comes with mentorship. With our day-to-day engagement with business and startups, people sought for mentors. The interesting part here is with all our 17 hubs across 15 regions that we are working with, wherever you are in this part of Ghana, you can have access to them. So from Damango to Takrade down to Eastern region or Ho, wherever you are in this country. So as I said, so wherever you are in this country, we have more. So the a platform or the Ghana Mentorship Network, but it's more centralized. You don't need to come to Accra to access a mentor. Wherever you are, just go to the platform and you get assisted.
Sure, absolutely. Kwamna, let me just quickly come to you and ask a key question. In accessing these mentors, do they have to physically, have these sessions with the mentors, or either get to experience a virtual approach? What's the approach to the mentorship?
So it's going to be in two forms. So virtual in terms of proximity, but if we do geofencing between the two, and there's time for both to meet, you can still meet and have it. And the interesting thing is free, so there's no cost. The cost here is about time and value. But in terms of physical cash, it's free. So you as a mentee need to be ready and willing to work and understand and listen. Because one it's different to listen, it's different thing to hear. So listen to the feedback the mentors give you for you to achieve your set goal. So it's free, virtual, in person. In person, it can be during activities and events at the partner hub locations. You can walk in there, get to have such opportunity. If not, you can be in the comfort of your office or home and still have access to that.
All right, sure. Thank you so much, Kwabna, for that add-on. Let me quickly borrow Kwabna's words and say that it's absolutely a happy day to launch the Ghana Mentorship Network, which offers a completely free mentorship service to startups all across the country. All you have to do is to just log onto the website that is going to be launched in a few minutes and follow the prompts from there. So once again, panel of judges, panelists, thank you so much, Norbert. Thank you so much, Pamela, and thank you so much, Kwabna, for sharing your insights on the conversation. Okay, so right now we're going to zoom right into the purpose for today's event. I'm going to quickly call on the lead for the project, Ms. Baba Simpson, to assist us with the launch of the Ghana Mentorship Network. Let me quickly remind you again that this is the launch of the Ghana Mentorship Network, brought to you by Ghana Tech Lab in partnership with our partners, Mastercard Foundation, the World Bank, and the Ministry of Communications. Again, if you are joining us online, wherever you're joining us from our socials, from the Zoom network, please do well to introduce yourself, do well to network with others on the platform, and also do well to drop in your comments and questions on there as well. Okay, so if Baba is ready, okay, sure. All right, so we're going to go on a quick break. We're going to come back to the launch of the website. Do stay glued to your seats. About a few minutes break, and we're going to be back. Thank you.
Hi everyone, you're welcome back. I'm so excited to introduce you to the Ghana Mentorship website, and I'll take you through the website. I'm here with Eko Mensa, who is also a consultant and one of our startup mentors. So the website is just go to GhanaMentorship.com, and once you get to the page, if you want to join us, this exciting network that we are actually having here, just go to become a mentor. And when you go there, you just click on the become a mentor. It takes you straight to the mentor page. And this is what it does, it takes you straight to how you can apply to be part of our network. So you apply, and then you get a form, you fill out the form, and then you go straight to creating your profile. So we give you a link where you can create your profile. Once you create your profile, then we start the whole process with the legal aspect and everything. Then, when you go to the next tab, which is our network, we have a number of mentors that we have actually worked with over the past 2 years, and we have over 200 mentors that we work with across all regions. And these mentors have been so helpful to our startups, and they've actually supported these startups that for free. And this is the most exciting part of our network, where startups are connected to mentors that they don't even think they would ever get to meet or get connected to. But because they are connected to our program, we make sure that these mentors are available on our platform, and they get to connect with them and interact with them, and then they get business advisory support for free. We also have exciting news on our blog. You get to read stories about startups and then our mentors that we have on our platform. There are also free books that the mentors can also go to and then also read. The startups can also get free books from here, and they can read the books. If you are a mentor and you also want to recommend books to our startups, you can just go here and then recommend these books to our startup. So the mentorship website is basically about going there to become one of our mentors. We have exciting stories about our startups that you have to read about. And once you are interested in supporting these startups, you just make sure that you click on the button and become a mentor. Okay, so there's also so like I mentioned, the recommend a book. So once you realize that there's a very good book that you want to recommend to our startups, you just share the title of the book and then the author of the book, and then you submit. And then the next thing you see is that book is in our library. So these are the main features of our mentorship um, website, and we are so happy to have you on board as a mentor. So before we officially launch this website, so that you all go out there and then look for this page, and then you also go and then join our platform, would want to have a discussion, a brief discussion with our consultant here, just to also tell you how excited he is about this website that we are launching.
All right. Is very important, especially for startups. And just like Google Maps, it tells you where your destination is, and mentors help you navigate the challenges that you're likely to face. One thing about mentorship that I'm personally excited about is the fact that mentors are people that have walked the path. And because they have walked the path, they are able to help you avoid certain mistakes that you're likely to make in your journey to start, manage, and grow businesses. And for GTL, with their partners, to be able to set up a platform, GhanaMentorship.com, for any startup, prospective entrepreneur, and anyone that intends to start a business, and those that have even started a business, to be able to go and access free mentorship from individuals that have walked the path and individuals that are more than willing to support them to succeed in their businesses. Indeed, this is an amazing thing. And I'll encourage mentors out there, individuals that have done well in their own journey of building a business, to go to GhanaMentorship.com to sign up. And also for startups that need some support with their businesses, to also go to GhanaMentorship.com and also sign up, so that we'll be able to match them, and then they'll get the help that they need to start, manage, and grow businesses.
Okay, so thank you very much, Ecomensa. This is how exciting the news is. So quickly go to Ghana Mentorship .com and then get yourself signed up for this to be part of this exciting program. So, like you can see, we have over 240 mentors on board. We have so many startups that we have actually supported, and that's like so many hours of good work that they have invested into these are startups. So we encourage all of you to go to GhanaMentorship.com and join our network. So on behalf of Ghana Tech Lab, would like to officially launch the Ghana Mentorship Network. This is just an exciting family to join. And we encourage all of you out there, mentors, experts, professionals, all of you who have journeyed through this path to join our network so that we can support other startups and then we make them sustainable. Thank you so much.
All right, sure. So thank you so much, Baba Simpson, for putting this exciting initiative together with the support of course, the Ghana Mentorship Network team. Thanks a lot, Ekomenta, for helping with the launch of the website as well. And thank you so much, Kwabna, for assisting to put all of these together. Once again, this has been the launch of the Ghana Mentorship Network, brought to you by Ghana Tech Lab in partnership with MasterCard Foundation, the World Bank, and of course, the Ministry of Communication. If you are still joining us, you can still put in your comments in the section. Let us know what you think we can, add on to the website. We are always open to your feedback. Write to us via email and let us know how this is also assisting you as a business. Thank you so much for joining us and have a lovely rest of the day. Bye.